strategies, and in fact he wrote a book, and this book has been used not just in the military, it's been used by a lot of business people because it's got a lot of tricks and a lot of tips about how to handle businesses and how to handle every situation that you are in. So one of the things to say is that you have to know your enemy, which means that you have to know those people that you're dealing with, not just your enemy, the people that you deal with, and more importantly, you do have to know yourself too. Okay, today we are talking about businesses, and the fundamental aim of a business, of any business, is to make money, right? We know that. Okay, now there are some priorities in businesses, in all sorts of businesses, including ours. There are priorities in it, and different businesses, and generally they have the same kind of priority. I'm going to share with you this. Number one, any business do need a product. You have to need products. And the number two priority of any business is that you need investors, okay? And after you find those two, the third thing you need to have is a good system. Otherwise, the business is not going to work, okay? But unfortunately, the last priority that normally is given in a business is the people. The people means the employees and the people who are working in the business, okay? They get most likely the least share of the thing, but they work the hardest. They are people in the trenches. Okay, this is generally how, this is generally how a normal business or even a networking businesses, how they work, right? It applies for all businesses, including the networking business. Okay, so this is the general rule. Let's have a look at what we do with shop.com. And when shop.com was first created or first started, it was not started in exactly the same way as a normal business. It started in a very interesting fashion or interesting sequence. Right. The first thing that the company started with, when JR started the company, was that he has in mind the most important factor he thinks, and he knows that in the nature of company that we, or business that we are in, the people are the most important part of the business, right? And he also knows that people and the system, they're related, right? The system has to work for the people and with the people. If you have a system that doesn't work for the people and the people does not like the system and the people cannot work the system, no business is going to work, okay? The third thing you have to look at, of course, investor is always there. And the fourth thing, of course, is the product, right? So this is exactly the opposite of what a normal business does, right? The sequence is totally, the priority sequence is totally opposite from a normal business. So we first look at the people, okay? The people. I'm showing you this photo is because of the fact that these are the people. Right up to today, most of these people are still around. And I circled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people there, okay? They were the original founders of this business, okay? JR being, most of you recognize JR. He is the founder of the company. And when it started in a very, very humble beginning, right? This company started in JR's house, around the dining table or the kitchen or somewhere there, right? And these are the founders, and up to today, all these founders are still with us, okay, from day one. And they are not just founders, they are the original unfranchised business owners too, okay? So they are the people and they're the founders, and eventually they are part of us, right? They are like any one of us, right? The second thing he looks for is a system, because he knows that most of the system does not work. So he came up with this slogan that is on our emblem that says that market America's most powerful business opportunity. When I first looked at this statement that he made, I thought, wow, this company is talking a little bit too, too big for what a normal company would want to do. But the reason why he did that was because of the fact that he knows that he's coming up with something that is big, and he was from a networking background, and he realized that in this business, most of the companies do not work because of the fact that the requirements of the people are difficult. The system does not work with the people, and the people cannot work with the system, right? So he decided to totally revamp the whole system the way things should work. And that was when Market America was born. So the investors. This photo here shows exactly the same people as you see down below when I show you that photo with JR and the people. Okay. Now, as far as the investors is concerned, originally at the very initial beginning, there were investors in the company, right? It almost went public, but when that happened, these investors who are kind of sleeping partners kind of thing, you know how investors are, their demands are very different from what JR wants it to be, okay? So after a very short period of time, he decided that no, we don't want these investors. So this picture shows him signing some papers there. And what paper is he signing? He's signing actually a check to buy all these investors out. So we became a private company, right? But being a private company, we are very, very transparent. We do not hide anything. We do not actually need to publish an annual report, but we do publish openly an annual report, okay, for everybody to see. So we are a very, very transparent company. And the reason why I'm showing this little logo with the DSA is that a lot of people will be asking, are you a member of the DSA, Direct Sales Association? And we are not. Why are we not? The reason why we are not is because of the fact that we were at the beginning, we were these members of the DSA, but JR realized that DSA, the people that is in DSA does not really agree with his way of thinking and his business model and his principles. So he decided that no, I'm not going to invest in something that it doesn't agree with me. It doesn't agree with my system, doesn't agree with the company. So he decided that we are out. So around the world, we know none of our companies in Malaysia, in Singapore, in Taiwan, Hong Kong are in the DSA in the country at all. We actually don't need them, right? So with the products, this is a very old 1993 piece of paper that shows something called an isochrome. Or not isochrome, it's a thermochrome that time, all right? So we had very, very little products, and we still were able to work because the system works very well. With or without products, this system works really very, very well. So therefore, initially we started with very, very little products, and we only developed the products slowly. In fact, the first one that came up was not the isotonic OPC, it was actually the B12. No, so eventually, this OPC and all the other stuff came out. Slowly, we don't rush into things. We do things very carefully and very slowly. Okay, this is just showing you what I just shared with you. It is sort of this diagram showing you the phase that we have been through, the company. Right, so that's our background. So let's see what's out there, right? The other people, what are they? Right, where is the money? Okay, where does the money goes? Okay, where does the profit, where does the sales profit goes? The number one, the investors, if this company has got investor and not like Market America, the investors will demand the biggest chunk of the money, right? Next comes the products. Next, the system, and the little money is always paid to the people who are in the trenches working the system. Right. Okay, even we don't look at the products and don't look at the investors, we just look at ourselves, because what interests us is not really who the investors are, and the products has got no problem. It's not that we don't want to look at it, but it's not our problem really. So we have to look at ourselves, the people, and the system that we are working with. Is it an equal system? Is it an equal opportunity system, or is it not? Okay. If you have an equal opportunity and system, the law of wealth of distribution, of wealth distribution is this: it's a healthy system. It has it encourages teamwork, synergies, and all that stuff, right? Longevity, stability. Shop.com is one of those. Okay, the system the sets the environment for success stories for the people. Okay, the business systems is built that way. Okay, which has got a mutual benefit. Everybody has got the same opportunity. No one has got more advantages from any other person, right? We have every person in this business running the business, unfranchised owners. We are all equal. We have the same requirements, and we have the same benefits from it. There's only one system. Whereas if you have something that is unequal, right? Some people have more, some people have less, some people have more benefits, and some are less. This is what I would call an unfranchised opportunity, unequal opportunity, right? And this unhealthy system creates all sorts of things, and the people are not going to be happy. Where the top earns a lot of money, and the bottom people earns very, very little. Okay, so there are two totally different kind of distribution, right? Equal and unequal. So eventually, if the system or the opportunity is unequal, people will just break away, and everybody will be doing the things they want to do, and there is really no teamwork. So talking about systems and modules, right? Fair or unfair? Okay. We always say all men are equal, but in an unfair system, some are more equal than others. Right? And a fair system is created for the people. An unfair system normally is created for and by the investors. Ecosystem, success for the majority, and ecosystem is success or benefit for the elite minority. Collaboration, and the other one is about driving people to, well, to do what they realistically not able to do. Okay, creating success story against aggressive sales and recruitment. Okay, so that's what the unfair system would create. Now, in a fair system, there is always one single module and one single system that applies for every single person, right? In an unfair system, modules are not made for everyone, and not everyone is made for that module, okay, or those modules. So in a fair system, the leader leads and brings the people along with him. In an unfair system, generally what happens is that the boss pushes the other people to work for him, right, or them. So looking at modules, looking at systems, today, if you want to start a network marketing company, it's very, very simple. Go online, look for a provider, and they will supply you with everything. Okay, look for a software provider. They will ask what you want, and they will bring you, show them what modules they have, and they incorporate everything in one bundle, give it to you within 2 days. You're working and you find some products and you're on the way. So today there are a lot of companies that comes up with very, very similar looking modules that is like new, but unlike what we have. Okay, what I'm going to share with you is some of the modules. I'm not going to share with you about different companies in specific, but I'm sharing with you the modules, the various that are available, or you can find a few. So this example here is a very, very simple one. It's a multi-tier overriding commission. These are like the party plans kind of thing, like Tupperware, that kind of stuff, right? So it's like overriding commissions, that's all. So depending on what level you are in, how your team perform, you have different advantages, different privileges, right? Even as a sales rep, like it's similar to our sales rep, the amount of discount they give for people buying different amount of goods is different. So to start with, already there's unfair volume discount. Okay, so that creates competition. As you go up, the more your requirements are, the more that your team grows, you get more and more of the share of your commission. And sometimes they provide you those very, very high executive people, they provide them with a car too. Right, that is the first, very, very simple. Now this second one is probably the most common and one of the oldest, what we call the multi-level marketing structure. And this structure requires a lot of people, because if you look at the first level they are in, I've put 10 people in there, right? So if 10 people, everyone bring in 10, is 100 on the second level, and 1,000, 10,000. And by the time you reach the fifth or sixth level, you have millions of people. So this is a very huge system, and this is something that any business owner or any businessman would like to grow their business big, right? So in this kind of system, there are heaps of people, there are thousands, even millions of people in any organization. There are. So because of the fact that there are so many people there entitled to make income, so a limit has to be set to keep the system viable. You cannot have people, every single person earning 20% of the thing. So that system cannot work. So they set a limit to it. Generally, the limit is set at about 20 to 25% of the sales, right? The rest of it goes to running the company, goes to the investors, and so on. So say someone like you, for example, if you are entitled to 21%, right? You think that you're getting 21%, but some of your downline members, right, in every group there, they would be earning some percentage of it as well, right? So the first one on the left is 12, and the last one on the right is 18. So they're all different percentages from the downline. So if the downline earns these percentages are taken off your 21%. Bear in mind that the total sales can only pay out 21%. So whatever your downline makes would have to be taken off you. Otherwise, the company would not exist or not survive, right? So in actual fact, if your downline makes some percentage, it is deducted from you. So in this manner, you'll find that what you get is not the 21% as you think you would be getting. You're not. You're getting the difference between your entitlement and whoever earns below you, right? So the more they earn, the less you earn, which is really, well, I don't know whether you call it share or fair or unfair, but eventually you will find that in any this type of systems, multi-level systems, it will drop to an average of about, by the time you get to even a very huge group, you'll be getting only about 5% of the group sales. Okay, this by statistics, this has been always the case, around 5% for this kind of business. Right, now you have somebody quite strong, let's say on the right hand side, circuit is 18% that is making, and you'll be getting 3%. Right now, this guy has got a big group. Eventually, his group is going to grow, right? And he will hit the 21%. So what is going to happen to your 3% that you had before? It goes to zero. You're not going to be happy because you're getting nothing whatsoever from that group that you possibly may have helped to build, right? So the company says this, since this guy is of no benefit to you, they are 21%, they gives you zero. So therefore the company says that we're going to take him away from you, right? And you do not just lose this person, you lose the whole group from there. Chances are that would be the biggest group that you have at that time. And you lose that big group. So what you have to do? In order to have some benefit from that group, you have to rebuild yourself, repair that whatever that's been taken away from you, and create yourself back to a 21% status in order to get 3% of that breakaway group. Well, fine, fair, 3%. If there are a lot of breakaway groups, you're good, you're all right, because 3% and 3% add together can be quite a lot. But to get that many, you need you're needing maybe about millions of people to give you a decent income. It's like what JR did in one of the conventions. He's just going round and round the squirrel cage and getting really, really nowhere. It is really like a never ending circle in a business like this. Okay, in summary of this multi-level, a typical multi-level is this, that the requirement for you is to expand as wide as possible. Everyone across are in competition, because most of them would be that you bring into the business would be friends, and your friends, you don't want your friends to be in competition with one another. This is something that is characteristic of this business, is that every month the volume resets to 0 and you start from scratch again. So at the end of the month, your upline and people in the senior people would stress the people in their organizations or in their team to buy more products so that he can maintain his 21%. No incentive to build beyond certain level, because multi-level has got a limit. The limit is normally between 5 levels down below them to maybe about 6-7 levels. Okay, so beyond that, you have 0. You don't get anything from that. So therefore, it's no advantage of you to build deep. So the company encourages you to build wide and not deep. So the more they earn, the less you earn, because whatever they earn is taken away from you. And breakaways. Okay, so that was the traditional normal multi-level. Now, streaming out from there, there are some variations of different multi-level kind of systems as well. That is that goes by ranking. Okay, so it is like a stair step. This kind of multi-level is very similar to the previous one, but it is based not just on volume. It's based on the level you are in. That means the rank you are in, whether it's about 1-star general up to about 10-star general or something like that, right? So different levels, at different levels, you have a different number. The levels that you can get benefit from is different. So this is how the graph looks like. Okay, the table looks like. And there are requirements as well, personal requirements. There are also the number of legs that want you to build varies as well. And not only that, you find that you have to balance your legs in some kind of percentage as well. Like if you are at the right-hand side one, where you build 5 organizations of 5 legs, they require you to have 40% on one leg, 35 on the next one, 10 on next one, 10 on one, and 5 on the other one. So to bring this kind of balance is not easy. While balancing 2 legs is hard enough, but balancing 5 legs is extremely difficult. And the group volume, if you're looking at it, if you reach that stage, the maximum stage, you would have to have a group volume of about 5 million kind of thing, right? So that is to 99.5% of the 99.9% of the people will not be able to achieve. So this model as well, the total compensation for any maximum would be around about 50% of it, that's the average. So let's compare this particular model with unfranchiseshop.com. Okay, now this 5% is on the blue line that I just showed you. Let's look at the figure 20,000 group volume. and at 5% is $1,000. Okay. Shop.com, 20,000 BV. You can do, if you can distribute the 20,000 BV to 5,000, 5,000 on your O2, right, which you have, and 5,000, 5,000 on your O3, which you have, that makes the 20,000, right? From there, you'll see that you'll be getting from there $4,500 to $6,000 or $6,300. Okay, and that is a very, very big figure compared to the $1,000. Okay, so a binary system that we have is far superior to a multi-level system that is not even including the IBV. Okay, we are only talking about BV. So it is 5 to 10 times, generally about 5 to 10 times the average people can make on these two systems, on the multi-level system compared to shop.com. For an average person, that's 5 to 10 times. But of course, for the elite few, maybe they can balance up. They can be probably on director's level or some other level. And this is just a summary of just share with you with the shop.com and the multi-level marketing. Right. A lot of us are interested in looking at just a binary system that's similar to what we have on franchise. On the left is Unfranchise. In the middle is another binary system which is very, very similar to what we have. And on the right is another variation of it. Okay. In the Unfranchise, 5,000, 5,000 pays 1,500 to 2,100, right? In the Plan U, they pay $1,000 for the 5,000, 5,000. They also kept a limit on the 5,000, 5,000, right? On the third one, they did not keep a 5,000 limit. They have 100,000 points limit on their plan. Okay, very, very high. So by comparison, these are the percentages of the product cost. Now, looking at a binary system, you just have to look at two things. Number one, the cost of the BV conversion, the money conversion to BV. That means your sales and your product cost and your sales, how it converts to BVs. Okay, how many percent is that? Right. On the Unfranchise, we know roughly they are normally around about 50%. The Plan U is 35%, and the Plan M, if you look at those figures, is 30%. Not those figures. Those figures you don't see the cost of the products. Right. These are the three figures. And the second element you have to look at is how does the PV converts to commission. Okay. For the Unfranchise, it's 30%, $1,500, $2,100. For the Plan U is 20%, right? 1,000, 5,000. And for Plan M is only 10%. Okay. So if you compound these two together by multiplying the two, you'll find that eventually Unfranchise is at 15%, Plan U is at 7%, and the Plan M is at 3%. Okay. That is only for the average people who can kind of build a business, right? It's not talking about those people who are really, really very high flyers, okay? No, the average people. So the Unfranchise is one for all, no difference, only one payout, which is your MPCP. And Plan U has got a second module incorporated in it. That is a global bonus. Okay. And I think Anne, she's listening in, she knows what I'm talking about, right? It's got a second module that pays for pin level, something like maybe our professional coordinators upwards kind of thing, right? If you are below that, you don't even get that. Okay. There are two modules in there. Number three, they have the second module that the Plan U has. And they have a third module which looks like a multi-level module as well. So a lot of companies are coming to say that, no, you have this, I have this, and this, right? The third one will come out, I have this, and this, and this. By the way, the Plan M, which is the third one, because of the fact that they have three modules that and they have a very, very high limit set on that, the plan M is really folded up. That was maybe about 2 years ago. Okay. So these are the dangers that we have. Look at the company that promises too much but cannot deliver. So this is about binary systems. And well, what I just said, because it is high limit, so the company actually went bust. Okay, well, we are looking at now a multi-cycle binary. Multi-cycle binary, which means that we have only, in our business, we have only one cycle a week, right? This one has got kind of a multi-cycle kind of a model. It's a binary, but it is a very different variation of it. So the left and the right, okay? Now, a lot of people say that in binary, you have to balance the legs, right? So a lot of people complain about it. Balancing two legs is difficult, right? So they came up with a system whereby you do not, they tell you that you do not have to balance the legs, right? They say that if you have half on one side, 240 in this case, and 480 on the other case, you can make income. Or you have 480 on one side and 240 on the other side, you still can make income. So if you have, in this particular model, it says that you have that kind of combination, 240 and 480, you get $28, right? For every one of those volumes, you get $28. So your 240 plus 480 is 720, right? It pays you $28. Okay, let's look at shop.com. Let's look at our Unfranchise and look at 10,000 BV cycle. Okay, 10,000. If you place a 10,000 BVs onto the site, and let's see what the 10,000 BV will produce on this model. So 10,000 divided by 720 will give them 14 cycles. That's why it's multi-cycle, right? Gives them 14 cycles, which pays out times the $28 is they pay out $392. Okay, for the same volume, which is 10,000, we pay out $1,500 to $2,100. So you can see again, it is 4 to 5 times the amount compared to the other binary system that is on the left. Okay, now this binary system says that it is multiple, but you can have 1,000 cycles in a week. Okay, 1,000 cycles equals to 720 volume, right? 720 volume, 720,000 volume, right? That will make you $28,000, right? 1,000 volume, 1,000 cycles gives you $28,000, right? Let's put this 720,000 BV on our system, right? On our MPCP, it will produce more than $150,000, and $150,000 and $28,000. There is a huge difference. Okay. So typically for that kind of models, besides having the base model like what I showed you, which is kind of binary models, they incorporate other systems, other models, other, I would say modules to make more money for the people, right? It's like a multiple stream of income. And the problem with this kind of system with multi payouts modules is that the requirements for different levels or different modules are different, right? So only the elite people and the senior people and high-ranking people are entitled to some of the bonuses. That's why you find that in this kind of system, the basic people, average people will be paid not a lot, right? A lot less, like similar to the one I just showed you, right? That's why they have to keep a lot of this money for the high-ranking people, for the high-paying level people. So this particular model has got eight different systems or 8 different payout modules. So normally, the one number 3 here, it is what the average people can do, right? Commissionable people can do. People like you and me, normally when we start, we only probably will achieve the third position, right? So as you go along, we probably would, would be able to achieve the high position, but you got to work very, very hard. Right. So on this particular one, which has 8, right? They have got customer sales bonus, they have the product introduction bonus, they have team bonus, they have team commission matching, like the stair-step thing I showed you about, the multi-level thing. So they have a few other things like a rank advancement, they give you payout, global bonus, they pay out, like show you the global bonus from before, and they give them trips that is for your family and for everything, and they give you multi-centers when you are very, very high up there. Okay, now, so this is you, okay? As a customer sales bonus, you do not get very much money. You probably get only a few dollars kind of thing, right? So same you there, okay? For the product introduction bonus, you get paid a little bit more, right? Team commission, you start to have a pump looking thing. Those of you who remember that the GR uses a pump, right? That's where the leveraging is, that's where the income is generated. They will start to earn team income or team bonuses or team commission, right? So that's a little pump there. But as you go along, if you want to make more bonuses, you have to, the same size, you are the same size, you are the same person, you have to drive a much bigger pump, right? If you did not understand what I told you before, just understand this diagram here, the next 2 diagrams I'm going to show you, right? Is once you start to want to earn the bigger income, you start to be having to have a lot of work that you need to do, right? On the right-hand side, it gets even worse. You are the same person, same size, but you need a bigger pump. You need to work a bigger pump, yet bigger one again, and a bigger one, okay? So if you wanted to earn those global kind of income or multiple businesses income and lifestyle kind of thing, you have to really, really work. And not a lot of people, very, very few people would be able to drive those kind of pumps, okay? It does not work. It does not work for 99.9% of the people, right? The left-hand side thing, most people would probably still be able to do. The right-hand side ones, very, very few would be, and looking upwards. Otherwise, you will never get anywhere into that, okay? Let's have a look now at Unfranchise, okay? The same person is you then, right? This is how the Unfranchise works. You have the pump, right? From day one that you come into the business, you will be provided with a pump that can generate income. And once you go to the level that you have finished your 5,000, which means that you can generate enough income, $1,500, $2,100 regularly, right? If you finish the cycle, you have a number 4. You see at the bottom down there, the number 4 appears, okay? And at the same time, you'll notice that when you first come into this business, you have three business organizations, which is your O1, O2, and O3. They are already provided with pumps for you, okay? So when you are stable, when your number 1 is stable, all you have to do is that you move yourself down to start building number 2, okay? And number 2 was the same potential, which means that 2,100, 1,500, 2,100 potential. And when that is stable, you move up to your number 3 and start the pump on number 3, right? And as you go, you find that number 5 and number 6 have been created because number 2 and number 3 start to make money. So number 5 and number 6 is there now. So when you're still not happy, when you're at this stage, you probably would be earning around about nearly to what N is making, okay? So if you're still not happy with that, what you do is that you move down to your number 4, start to make money on number 4. You move down to number 5, create the money, move down to number 6, okay, start. And you can move all the way down to number 999. The company allow you to to get this, what we call the re-entries, right up to 999. If you look at this system and the previous one relating to the pumps, you can see a huge difference. Okay, you can see, if you can see it, you can see a huge difference between the two systems. And this is how it looks like. Okay, so on the left, you have really have to work very hard as you move up. Really work like crazy to move up there, right? On the right, just to make the same money, you find that you just have to work a little bit slowly and slowly build it up to the level. And the thing is that you notice that on the left, you have to be building every single level all the time. Whereas on this side, you can walk away from one to the second one, and you only need to work one at a time. You do not have to work the whole lot at the same time. Because whatever you work on the second one, on the third one, on the fourth, fifth, sixth one would be supporting the number one. Okay, so this is the major difference between our system and what you will see up there, which promises you a lot of different kind of models with different streams of income, but which does not work and will not work for the majority of the people. So the choice is yours. Now I'm finishing off with that is hopefully the last two slides are probably the slide that is the most important that you should know. So I'm finishing with this last slide. It says that if you don't have to be great to start, but in our business you have to start to be great. Okay, and you can never fail in this business unless you stop trying. Okay, I've done my bit. Kitty, back to you. Christine, sorry.
You're all right. Thank you so much, Kevin. I always look forward to your PowerPoints. They're always just so pretty to look at. And today there were so many graphs and data, and it was really good to see it, just to go through it in such depth. I think every time you do one, I sort of learn more and more every time. So hopefully for all of our new unfranchised owners, that's really helped answer a lot of your questions. Thank you so much. Yeah, fair or unfair, we know which one we all like to be part of. So I think just putting it in that way as well, like we're for the people. Yeah, power of the people. We're not in competition. Yeah, such an amazing business. Thank you so much, Kevin, for sharing tonight. Would anyone like to have any comments or questions that they wanted to ask at all in regards to our presentation tonight by Kevin?
Well, we don't really need to be great to start, but we need to start to be great. So
how good is that?
Really want to say kudos to everyone here who's already started, and we're on our way to be great. Thank you for that encouragement, Kevin. That's my comment, Christine.
I love that quote too, actually. I need to write that one down. I love it.
Yes, amazing. Brilliant. Yes.
All right.
Why don't we invite Auntie Anne, who, yes, Christine?
Yeah, Anne Loke. Would you like to share anything about
Okay. Sorry. Wow, Kevin, very good. I understand the plan, but I don't know how to do slide. That's the only thing. So we are teamwork. You see, Kevin can slide and all these things. So I understand what Kevin said. And especially, I start my own multi-level. That's why a lot of multi, it's true, a factory back out me. And you want any product, you just take. I just do the system. It's so simple to start a multi-level company. Think of that. That's what 1997 I start my own. You know, with the manufacturer, they back up you see. But the only thing is, when they give you target, you cannot achieve. That your multi-level cannot go on, and people just drop out because of you pay by level. I pay until 7 level, especially about Amway. Yeah, I reached 21%. But because I got big volume sales, but all my business partner like 3%, how much they can earn. This is what we have to know. We are fair system in our, just like I say, is everybody start with the same. Can you see? You know, I come in, you come in as the same. Just that you need to persistent and you need to know how to build strong. That is very, very, not say you get a lot of people coming in, you are very good already. It's raise up the leader that's very important, because how many leader you have is your asset. That is so why multi-level is different from here. Is too many line. You don't know which one leader you want to raise them. You can't raise up with 10 line, but this one is only 2 line. Can't you raise up 2 line in a few leader? Of course you can, but you have to be the leader first. You have to be follow the system. If you don't follow, of course your team don't follow. Or you just work a while and stop. You don't have leader below you already successful. Sooner or later they will correct. You see. So I only had 4 shops only. It's true. I'm not going to. So I'm now spend more time with you all. Yeah, I'm very happy with my income. Yeah, even my 4 shop is 2 week, 3 week already flush. But I want to make sure it's every organization strong. That is longevity. Think of longevity. If you want to earn a lot of money, any traditional business, doctor, accountant, at the end, can they pass their business to the next generation? This is what I see my father work very hard, have a few business, but at the end, nothing. Even you own your own practice or anything, you are trained time for my back. This one is we leveraging each other and we work as a team. We help each other because there's plenty of people in this world need our help. We have to be successful that other people can see it. That's all. Kelvin, you are doing very good job. I always admire your slide, but I can analyze and all this thing. I like it, you see. But the only thing I'm not like has talent. That's why his talent is the slide. Thank you, Kevin, and thank you all. Any question?
Feel free to use it, and feel free to use it.
Yeah, you see, we are team.
Everybody can use it.
Yeah. See, we so sharing. That's why we have the sharing. We are shop.com family. We need to know that our business will go bigger and bigger. There's a lot of country coming in. You cannot handle all the country, but you have to teach the right way. All your people duplicate the same, don't worry your business already. Okay? That's it.
Thank you, Anne. It's great to have you sharing with us tonight as well. Thank you. And we all, as Anne said, we all just so appreciate the effort you put into your PowerPoints and the depth of information that you get into them as well in such a short amount of slides. So thank you. I think it just, as you said, Anne, it just highlights how much of a team we are. It really is a community. There's no competition.
Yes.
And what I love is that you can introduce people into the business, you can support them, and they can earn more than you, which I think, I think that's what there's no other multi-level.
Because they work harder, they recruit more people. I just take my own sweet time.
It's never heard of in other businesses ever. Yeah. I think that shows why we support our team so much. And there's no jealousy, no competition. We all want each other to succeed. Yeah, awesome.
You give, you will be given. I always believe this.
Very true. We've got some good quotes tonight. All right. Thank you. And does anyone else have any comments or questions in regards to the presentation tonight before we move on? No. All right. Thank you again, Kevin and Anne. We might move on now to products. And sorry, let me just. So we're going to move on now to team sharing about our exclusive products or anything from our online shopping as well. Does anyone have anything in our partner stores that they'd like to share tonight? Was that Ken?
Bow repairs.
Go for it, Ken.
Hi, Christine. Hi, everyone. Sorry I was a bit late today. I got a new set of tires. Actually, I think this was from Teresa. It was probably her who sort of recommended this previously. But Bow repairs, right? 11% IBV.
Yeah, very high.
It's phenomenal. And then you stack on like all the sort of service packages and then like an alignment, and you get IBV on everything. So happy.
That's awesome. Tell us who that was with again. Sorry, Kevin. Ken.
I can never pronounce it. It's Bew Repairs or Bow
Bow
Repairs.
repairs.
Yeah, Bow
Bow
Repairs. Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. How good's that? 11%.
I'm just gonna change all my tires now. So that was one car. There's like a few more to go.
Whether you need to or not, just
Exactly. Just to get IBV. Yeah.
Yeah. Good one. Well, you got your master UFO, man.
Oh man, that's it. That's it.
awesome.
And I can scale down my auto ship on IBV as well now.
Yeah, try to do IV because when we talk to the cooperating, they always say not enough people do IV, so we don't want to increase IBV product or the partner store. So we had to use it. If we have partner store, we don't use it, we lose it.
So true,
Wow.
Anne. There's a big click frenzy on at the moment. All the shops